Namaskar, greetings and gratitude. I welcome you all to another historic inspirational Star Talks. I say it historic because I am happy to celebrate the 100th episode today. Thank you, ma'am, for coming to my 100th episode. I welcome you, Pratibha ma'am, to the Star Talks.
Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am. And it is an honor for me to join your show.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I am honored. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Pratibha Kohli is MSc Chemistry. She's PhD Education, Principal Maharaja Agrasen Model School, CD Block, Pitampura, Delhi. She has the experience of over 30 years in the field of education. She has taken up teaching position and administrative position in reputed schools in India and the Sultanate of Oman. This is so nice, ma'am. Congratulations
Thank
and
you. Thank
welcome to the Startups again.
you.
Ma'am, please share with us your some of the NEP initiatives that your school has taken up under your leadership.
That's a wonderful question, Preeti ma'am, because NEP and NCF are two wonderful documents that are a sort of guidelines for the school. So we are so lucky to have the implementation of NEP and NCF, and there are clear guidelines for us we need to follow and make education truly transformative and student centered. So, most importantly, we have focused on experiential learning in our school. We have hands on learning, we have arts integrated and sports integrated education. There is a lot of focus on competency based assessment in the school. We take up capacity building of teachers, and my teachers attend a lot of professional development programs. Education is ICT integrated. Then we are also implementing HPC, the Holistic Progress Curriculum. We are working towards STEM in our school. There is a lot of emphasis on mother tongue teaching in the school. And then we have back free days. Children just enjoy the back free days in our school. And the day we have back free days, we have all sorts of learning activities which makes the classroom happy and joyful. We are also a part of the Shuffle initiative of CBSE. So in all this, we are also moving towards the transformation where we don't play emphasis on rote memory. Rather, we want children to experience the joy of learning, and they learn best when they find that their learning is happy, joyful. So, all these are the transformational experiences of learning that we have for students and for teachers in our school.
Wonderful, wonderful. You have taken all the NEP initiatives in your school. This is so good. Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, in this age of AI and smartphones, what is your take on the reading habits of the students, ma'am?
Yes, actually, we are teaching the Gen Z. And, at my age, we are all digital immigrants. We have learned technology, but they are all digital natives. They've grown up with technology. So, there are times when teachers need to match their digital expertise. The students are so smart with technology. They've learned technology, I think, right from their infanthood, whereas we are still learning it.
Yes.
However, every new technology or every new advancements come, they come with their own, certain guidelines. I would say that one should follow. Children should not be over dependent on technology. So what is happening that we are seeing, attention spans decreasing. We are seeing over dependence on technology. And we are seeing that children, they want to rush to technology at all times whenever there is a doubt. When they are feeling happy, they want to see the mobile. When they are sad, they want to see the mobile. And in all this, the reading habits, they are not coming up as expected. So children are not reading books as much. So what happens is their attention spans are shorter, and then their cognitive ability is not as much enhanced. So, I tell my students that reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body, and they must read. They must read books. Our library has a lot of books for the children, and when they get the joy of reading, they become very creative in their expressions, and they become very creative in their writing ability, and of course it enhances their cognitive ability. So AI is there to stay. Technology is our friend, but then let us not be slaves of technology. Let us be masters of technology, and let us learn technology to the best of our ability. Like we have Kindle. So Kindle is technology which helps us read books. So there's no harm in using Kindle to read books. So
Absolutely.
a proper integration of technology with reading is the need of the hour.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very rightly said. They are the natives of digitalization that is happening. And yes, we should not become tools in the hands of technology. Rather, it should be the tool in our hands. Absolutely, ma'am. Correct, ma'am. So, ma'am, when you are taking the administrative position and everything, so what advice do you give to the educators who are just starting their careers? And what qualities do you believe are essential for success in education?
See, there are two things I would like to pinpoint here. First of all, come to teaching only if you are passionate about it. So you should have a strong passion for teaching, for touching hearts of children. Second is, as a teacher, you need to be a lifelong learner. See, you can give something, but then you have to take also something. So if you want to teach something, then you have to learn also. And with the rapid advancement in technology, with a lot of changes coming up, with new inventions, discoveries, so many new things coming up, new pedagogies coming up, which are ICT integrated, I think a teacher is always a learner. Gone are the days where we would use only one book and we would just teach from page 1 to page 100 and get marks. Those days, are past. And we need to know what is happening around the world. Teaching is not limited to four walls of the classroom. Teaching is now global. Hence, we need to know everything about teaching, and for that, a teacher has to be a learner to know not only what is happening in your state or your country, but to know what is happening across the world, to tell the students about it, and to make teaching holistic, interdisciplinary. We need to be a learner all the time. But with all this comes a strong passion. I think in all these years of my teaching, I have been in teaching for more than 33 years now. What has held me into my teaching profession still is my passion, and I truly enjoy being with the students, and when I'm teaching them, I'm learning too. So that is what is most important, that be a learner before being a teacher, and have a strong passion towards teaching, because you're molding life of millions of children when you're into the teaching profession.
Absolutely. Well said, ma'am. Absolutely. One has to be a passionate before entering this line. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ma'am, we all know that you are a well known teacher You are taking very well your teacher training sessions. And what is the role of teacher training in the career as a teacher, ma'am?
Yeah. So NEP has mandated 50 hours of teacher training. And it is wonderful that NEP has come up with this mandate. So there were days when there were no teacher training sessions going on, and we would be so content with whatever is given in the book, what is in our school, what comes in the board question papers. But now there are so many new things that are coming up, and all those new pedagogies, transformative pedagogies, how to build learning outcomes, how to make teaching interdisciplinary, how to integrate art, sports, visual arts, performing arts into teaching. All this comes with teacher training. And teacher training helps teachers open their minds towards newer ways of teaching. So we can't be teaching with the same methodologies for years, because children, they are very smart, and they, as you know, they are using technology, and they are coming up with newer, brighter ideas. So our teachers ought to be smarter, and
Absolutely.
for that they need to attend trainings, and they need to get the learnings of the trainings back to school, implement that in their classrooms, and get novelty into the classrooms. Children should not find classrooms boring. Children should find classrooms interesting, enriching, energizing. And that will happen if we have excellent teacher training sessions where we share ideas, we build upon ideas, and we enrich our teachers so that they are empowered to deliver the best of content in a variety of ways. Children, they learn visually or kinesthetically or by hearing, by watching. There are so many ways with which children learn, and how to implement all that comes with teacher training. So I think just like reading a book is most important, teacher training for the teachers is very, very important.
Definitely.
I feel like
Definitely.
that.
Yes, ma'am. As it is said, you cannot teach a 21st century learner with 20th century skills. Absolutely. We have to upgrade ourselves. Trainings are important. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Ma'am, these days there's a lot of discussion on STEM. So, what do you feel? Please share your views about STEM in schools.
Yes, thank you. So, STEM is a topic which is close to my heart. I must say, I'm a science person. CBSC has declared STEM as the training theme for the current academic session. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths does not begin in colleges. It begins in the school,
Absolutely correct.
where we bring science, technology, mathematical concepts, building up of models like in engineering. We bring that to the classroom. I've seen children making bridges with newspaper, where they decide what should be the length of the bridge, what should be the height of the bridge, what material should be used, what shape should be given, whether it should be a square or a triangle or a curve, and most importantly, STEM is hands on. There is no STEM which is pen and paper. So, whatever teacher integrates through STEM, it has to be through projects, it has to be through some prototypes that the children bring. For this, the teacher has to bring in design thinking in the classroom. For
Absolutely.
this, the teacher has to bring in computational thinking in the classrooms. And these are the demands of the 21st century learners. If you look around the room, there is technology everywhere. You have fan, you have laptop, you have mobile, you have uh, AC, and all this is because there is STEM somewhere in our teaching and learning. We have to prepare students for a future where they are using design thinking and computational thinking to build up prototypes and projects, and that will come only when we get STEM into the classroom. And the latest is STEM to STEAM, where we also integrate arts into STEM, and we get children not only making those projects but making them very aesthetic, useful, how to present these projects to the community so that they are all innovators, entrepreneurs, and they work towards Vikasit Bharat, and our country has more entrepreneurs and we prosper. So STEM is the need of the hour.
Absolutely, absolutely right, ma'am. Absolutely right. So, ma'am, you have received numerous awards for your contributions to education. Can you share with us some of your most notable achievements and how have they impacted your career, ma'am?
I think my most notable achievement is being with my students and teachers.
So
That
sweet.
gives me a lot of joy.
Nice.
And because I find joy in this process, the awards are only the products. It is the process, it is the journey of teaching which is much more rewarding. I have been a learner throughout, and I think that has given me lots of new ideas. However, since you have asked the question, I was conferred with the State Teachers Award in 2015, with the CBSC Teachers Award at national level in
Nice.
2018-19, and National Award for Innovative Practices in Teaching by the NCRT. I had prepared a project which was about environment, ethics, and awareness that students should have by building zero cost or low cost innovative projects. So, all these were processes for me. All these were journeys for me, and the journey was or is still rather very, very enriching. I believe that students should work towards having a clean environment, green environment. And my project in NCRT, which got me the National Award for Innovative Practices, was based on environment. So, you know, I am an educationist, but then I care and feel a lot about the environment also.
Great, great, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, ma'am. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Ma'am, also, now you please share your hobbies and interests with us.
Okay. Yeah. So as I told you, no, I care a lot about the environment. So I have lots of plants at home.
Okay.
And I love to tend to my plants in the evening and see those little plants grow. And, gardening is my passion. However, I also read, and sometimes I take up artwork. I have a lot of interest in art because it helps me focus more. It improves my focus. So there are times when I take up artwork also at home. And of course, learning new technologies. That is another passion, because I want to know what my students are doing, what my students are learning. So I might as well learn the new technologies. That also
Absolutely.
I take up. Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Yes.
last question to you, ma'am. Share your memorables, happy moments with us.
Yeah, my happy moments are always with my students. My happy moments are always with my teachers. My happy moments are when we celebrated the annual days in our school, where almost 800, 900 students participated, and we put up shows like Ganga, how to preserve the river Ganga, and we put up a show about the story of Delhi. So, my happy moment where my 800 or 900 students are performing on the stage, my teachers are training them, and I'm so happy to get the applause from all stakeholders. My
Beautiful.
happy moments are when I'm in the laboratory, when I'm making projects with my students and I'm learning with them, when they tell me, ma'am, this is the way we should do it. And I say, you are right. You are so bright, child. So, when I
Yes.
work with the projects with my students, when I work with the projects with my teachers, when I see my students perform on the stage, those are the moments which give me a lot of gratification, and they give me a lot of contentment, because ultimately, our success depends, or is, I think, fully dependent on how well our students do. So
Absolutely.
I'm proud of my students. They are doing well. I'm connected with them even after they have left school. And those are my precious moments, working with them, seeing them grow, seeing them mature into well rounded individuals. Those are moments that I would always cherish.
Wonderful. Very beautiful, ma'am. Very beautiful thoughts. So nice to hear such lovely thoughts from you, ma'am. I so nice knowing you, ma'am. Thank you for
Thank
coming to the startups. Thank you. And I really believe in the Almighty and all the rejections, all the pushings. And we started that we will have a podcast in the month of July, and we've reached here because there was a bigger plan that you would be coming to my 100th episode. Thank you. Thank you for being with me on my journey. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much, Preeti, for having me on the show, for sparing your valuable time. It is truly an honor for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Honored. Thank you. Thank you for sparing your valuable time. Thank you. Thank you, my dear audience. So, the new milestone begins from today. So, the 100th episode we've completed, and many more hundreds to complete. Thank you for being with me in my journey. And I will come back with another personality who has inspired my life. Thank you. Have a nice day.